Good morning, students. I hope you would be safe and healthy at your home during this lockdown period. Before, you have so much complaint that we have not got leisure time. But by now, this time, due to this lockdown period, we get enough time to improve your qualities of your education. Particularly those students who are weak in their particular segment, they can now concentrate more on their subject and can improve their things nicely. Now, I think that for your convenience, we are going to arrange some online classes for you. And today I asked Anand apprising about the grammar portion, and that is chapter is the clause. Here we have seen that clause, that what is clause. In this session, we will learn about clause. First, you know that clause has two parts, that is main and subordinate clause. And types of clause, it has a noun clause, adjective clause, adverb clause, and three types are there. So first, you have to understand what is clause. As you know that clause is a group of words which forms a which forms a part of sentence and which has its subject and finite verb of its own. As you know that here you have seen that in clause a big monkey ran away with all your with all clothes. Here you said that a subject is there, verb is also the ran away, and with all your clothes, that is predicate. So in clause we have seen that there are two parts. Every sentence has its two parts. So here clause has also has two types, like subordinate clause and the main clause. So in main clause it is also called as principal clause. You know that it is why it's called main clause, that it doesn't depends on the other. So it is an independent clause and its sentence has complete sense. Like you have seen that you also run away before I came out. You also run away. This has a complete sense. So it is a main clause. And the second portion is that before I came out. This is a subordinate clause. So that subordinate clause is also called dependent clause, since it depends upon the main clause. So here from this sentence you can easily understand the difference between main clause and the subordinate clause. Now I come to the next section, that how many types of subordinate clause. Now as you know that there are three types of subordinate clause. That is first one is subordinate noun clause, subordinate adjective clause, and the subordinate adverb clause. Now you first come to the subordinate noun clause. As you know that before you have the idea about noun, any name, person, place or thing is called noun. So like this way you can understand that in subordinate noun clause what you have seen that in subordinate noun clause what you have seen that it has a in any clause the sentence which depends upon the sentence where noun is more active in that very sentence is called noun subordinate clause. Suppose I am just giving some example. Noun clause performs the function of a noun. In any sentence where noun is performing the function, in that very part it is called noun subordinate clause. I'm now giving some example. Just see, what I had for lunch is still giving me a stomach ache. Here what you have seen that in this portion noun clause performs the function of a noun. What I had for lunch is still. That means I will reward wherever you bring back my lost dog. So here we can easily understand from this example that here the noun clause is dominant over the sentence clause. So it is called noun clause. Second portion, now you come to the adjective clause. As you know that adjective clause, what happens? In this clause, what happens? Noun or pronoun. It qualifies the noun and pronoun and does the work of the adjective. So in that way it is known as adjective subordinate clause. Now I am giving some example from you can easily understand that how it will be understood. I do not know where to go. You must believe that he is innocent. That in this very case that you have seen that it is apprising about the quality of noun. So it refers that it is a subordinate adjective clause. Now I came to the point of subordinate adverb clause. As you know that subordinate adverb clause, what it means that here you have seen that in subordinate adverb clause, you have seen that in an adverb clause may modify some verb, adverb or adjective in main clause. So here what you have to understand that in where it applies about the qualities of verb which is applied in the particular sentence. So in adverb clause what happens, it applies the qualities of verb which is applied in that very sentence. Now I am going to come to the point. I like to read because it is so enjoyable. So it is I like to read because it's so enjoyable, because it is a subordinate adverb clause. Now there are different types of subordinate adverb clause. First off is that you just see that different types. First is that subordinate clause of time. You know that it does the action, it shows the action of time. That means suppose you just come to the point with that subordinate adverb clause. I am just giving from my example, you can understand that. Wait till I come returns. Here we have said that we are asking about the time. Until he is not returned from there, you have to wait there. I had met the person when I had in Ranchi. That means that particular time uprising that when I were in Ranchi, that I was in Ranchi, that time I had met with him. Second is adverb clause of place. Here in that it shows the action of place where the time has taken. Suppose in where I have seen that adverb clause does not. Now you have come to the point that let's recap. Adverb clause of place. Suppose I live where he lives. A group of words that has a subject and a predicate with a finite verb is called a clause. Now come to the point of view that on the adverb clause of place. I live where he lives. Just to see from this example, you can understand that I live where he lives. That means from I am denoting that where it refers what? It refers to any place. So due to that, it is called adverb clause of place. Third point is that the adverb clause of manner. In adverb clause of manner, what you've seen that where any types of manner were performed, the action which performed as a manner, it is called a subordinate clause of manner. I am giving some example, you can understand that. He behaves as if he were a director of this school. That means what happened? Now, in this case, what happened? They are doing like that. He is behaving. That means the action, the manner he is behaving, it denotes that it is a subordinate clause of manner. And the fourth one is subordinate clause of comparison. In this sentence, what you said that it shows the comparison, the qualities among the things. Like I am just giving some example. You can just understand that she is not so old as she looks. That means she looks. This sentence you can understand that she is not so old as she looks. That means she is old, but her looking is different from there. He is taller than me. Here I am comparing that among two person or any two girls, that if she is taller in comparison to others. Last one is I am averaging about the subordinate adverb clause of region. That's why I am saying that whenever the region comes, suppose he could not attend the class since he was ill. That means the region is giving in any subordinate clause of region. That means it's behind so any region of that action. Now I come to the conclusion that you have understand that you have clause portion. Now I am going to some assignment work for your practice, that first I am giving that the first that whatever the exercise in your chapter in grammar portion, you will do the things. Second, you have to learn the definition and all, differentiate among the portion, and you have to underline the things also, that which portion is noun clause, which portion is adverb clause, and which portion adjective clause. Now thanks, you go through all the things nicely, and next day I will apply about some different topics. Thank you.